Cyberpunk 2077's 48-minute demo finally gave players an idea of what it's like to play the game as it exists right now. There was loads of things to look at in it, but here are the 10 most important things you should take away from it, as well as an overwhelming need to play it right now. Shit! Your background check is important. This background check, part of the character creation, reveals how V is tied into the world even before you take control. She was born in 2054, which makes her either 22 or 23, and there are several options to set up her backstory. We didn't see how V's childhood hero, her key life event, or why she came to Night City will affect the game in this demo, but CD Projekt has assured us that they'll be relevant. You can interact with bystanders. Most games treat NPCs like a bit of the scenery, but Cyberpunk 2077 will give you a little more power in how you interact with them. Like how V advises this lady to hunker down before she starts shooting up her neighbour's place. Cyberpunk also blurs the line between passers-by and important characters. Watch how this gunsmith talks to V about retrieving her old .45 pistol, and then it pops up as a potential activity, without even breaking into a separate cutscene or quest screen. If you're not interested, you can just ignore him and keep walking, although he may get a bit annoyed. Equipment has colour-coded rarity. Colour-coded equipment rarity remains a thing, even deep into the dystopian future. Cyberpunk gives you a good amount of information when you look at equipable items in the world, including special bonuses like increases street cred leveling speed by 5%, as we can see on the samurai jacket here. Elsewhere in the demo, we see items of rare and even epic quality, making that uncommon jacket look positively pedestrian by comparison. Still, you can't argue with earning more street cred, which we'll come back to later. Implants come with a humanity cost. Just look at all those sweet implants you can get. With all the benefits they bring, seems like you'll want to install as many as you can buy, right? Only one problem. That bit about humanity cost. CD Projekt hasn't explained exactly how Cyberpunk's humanity system will work, but in the tabletop RPG it's based on, getting too modded out is a very bad idea. The kind of bad idea that means the games master takes control of your character and starts playing them as a murderous, empathy-bereft cyber psycho. One of which we saw in the original CGI trailer for 2077, by the way. Maybe your humanity will just work like a hard limit for how many implants you can have installed at once, but that'd be kind of boring in comparison, don't you think? Third person is used for effect. Cyberpunk is largely played from a first-person perspective, but it does make use of third person at key moments. The two scenarios in which we saw third person used in this demo are moments between story beats and driving around the streets of Night City. In the first case, it seems like CD Projekt may use the camera change as a signal that you can relax for a bit and just take in the world, and how good your custom character looks, without needing to make dialogue choices. In the latter case, you have the option to swap between first-person and third-person vehicle segments whenever you like. Conversations are playable events. Now, about those dialogue choices. We're all used to RPGs like The Witcher 3 and Skyrim changing modes between conversation and the rest of the game. The camera shifts, your character locks eyes with the focal NPC, and you can't do anything but talk until you pick whatever option ends the dialogue. Cyberpunk rolls conversations right into the rest of the game. One moment you're sauntering up to a Militech agent, the next her goon has you in a headlock and is hacking your brain to see if you're lying to her. You're also often given the choice to draw your gun in these tense moments, although it doesn't look like you can just threaten to shoot anybody you like.
Fat old fuck, that him?
We'll pay for the bot. Be on our way.
Hacking is powerful, but risky. The gameplay demo only offers the briefest of glimpses of net running, that's hacking, near the end. But look closer and you can start to see some of the many purposes it will serve. First off, hacking into the gang's personnel system allows you to see the connected squads. Zooming in on a single squad will reveal how many members are connected, which is very valuable intel by itself, and then it lets you mess with them. We see the Get Access option in action, allowing V to quickly hack other members of the squad, but you could also degrade their aiming ability or outright disable their cyberware. Just remember to pay attention to that anti-hacker ICE installed on each node. Hacking can be a dangerous pursuit, as proven by that poor netrunner whose entire face burns into flames right about now. The inventory is nice and streamlined. For now. When The Witcher 3 came out, its inventory system was kind of a mess, frustrating players with limited filtering options, poor grouping, and lots of searching. CD Projekt eventually tamed it across a series of patches into a functional and only slightly clunky version that's playable today, and it looks like they've kept those efforts in mind for the start of Cyberpunk 2077. The inventory screen we see in the demo is very minimal and scaled back, which makes me suspect that CD Projekt Red won't be able to keep things quite this simple when it's supporting the full, massive game, but hopefully it won't go too far in the other direction. Combat can get acrobatic. The demo started out as a relatively grounded and gritty shooter with lots of crouching behind cover and trading fire with enemies on the other side of a trashed room. But once the developers unlocked a high-level power set for V, the combat settled somewhere in between Max Payne and Doom.
Jesus Christ! My legs!
Double jumping across the room and sliding into Klasnikov bullet time, V was able to down 2 elevated goons with shotgun blasts before her feet even touched the ground. And if you prefer the more personal touch, there's always these freaky Reaper arm blades that you can have a go on. Street cred rules everything around you. Remember that street cred boosting jacket V equipped near the beginning of the demo? Here's where it pays off. As we saw in the inventory screen before, character level and street cred are actually two separate things. Presumably the former will allow you to increase your basic stats, like that all-important cool, while the demo's narrator confirmed that increasing your street cred will give you access to more vendors and other important parts of the nightlife in Night City. It could have more immediate rewards too. Notice how it says new perk points available under the level up notification. I wonder what kind of stuff you could spend those on. So those are the 10 things you need to take away from the Cyberpunk 2077 demo. Let us know your thoughts of the demo in the comments below, click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on Game Radar Plus.